The subject I want to cover today is basically China. China, because China, I think right now, currently, like globally for, I want to say almost like 20 years, China's kind of been the center of manufacturing everything.
Yes.
And since we are in the garment business, and I mean, you've been doing import-export business for like what, like
30 years.
Almost like 30 years. Yeah. So I figure like you'd have a pretty, like we could pretty much cover like the past, present and maybe like the future of where manufacturing is going in China. So, before we start talking about everything, when did you first start in China?
I think it's 1999.
1999?
Yeah.
So before China, were you anywhere else? Like
before China, I did production in Korea and Taiwan,
okay,
and a little bit of Hong Kong.
Is there a difference between China and Taiwan and Hong Kong?
It's a lot different.
Okay, so like what's the difference?
China, the reason I couldn't start to do business, before 1999, because we have a problem with the quota. So even though you want to, do business with China, and there is no quota available in China.
What's a quota?
Quota is a limited quantity of
what
you
you
can
like
bring.
Quota.
Yeah,
okay.
Quota, yeah.
Okay, I see.
Yeah.
So you couldn't do anything in China?
China, not at the time. Not, until, middle of 2000.
Okay.
Yeah, 2000.
So when you first started in Hong Kong and when was that? When you first started in Hong Kong and Taiwan?
Hong Kong and Taiwan. Taiwan I started in 1990. I think 1990.
90, and then Hong Kong, was it later?
It's about the same time.
So when
very limited.
Yeah. So when you went there, they didn't work with China. Like how did that work out?
Because I worked with a Hong Kong vendor, and then I worked with a Taiwanese vendor.
Okay. So were they like agents?
Yeah, we work with the agent, but whenever I go to Taiwan, I work with the agent. So we buy the fabric from there, and then we do manufacture there, and they bring it to the state.
So I know your agent was in Taiwan.
Yeah.
The fabric mill was also in Taiwan?
It's Taiwan.
And the factory was also in
Taiwan, yeah.
Okay, so that's completely different from China production.
Yeah,
okay.
Different, yeah.
Okay, so how did you get into China then?
China, because it's 1999, before
9/11.
Yeah, before new millennium.
Yeah.
And then I wanted to find out, and I wanted to start to do business in China. So I did a lot of research. How can I start business with China? Because even though I was doing okay business with Korea and Taiwan, I feel something because their price is going up, and then very limited production capacity. So I wanted to develop the China business. So I figured that before new millennium, and I wanted to start China business. So I decided to move on to 1999.
Okay, so which province or what city did you start in?
I started, because I went to 1999. I went to the Hong Kong trade show.
Okay.
Okay, so
that's how you found everybody.
Yeah. So I went to the Hong Kong trade show, and then they're selling a fabric. Okay, so I met a few, I think I found like a 2 to 3 fabric vendor from China. So I picked some samples.
Was it like woven fabric?
I think it's all about woven.
All
woven fabric. So I find the fabric, and then I ask for the sample yardage, and then I made a sample, and it looks okay, and it's a workable. So what I did is.
Did you make it out of Hong Kong or?
No, I bring the fabric to Korea, and then I bring it from China to Korea, and then I make a few samples, and it looks good, and the price is workable. So what I did is that. So I send email to China fabric vendor there. I like to visit in China, and then because I've never been in China, I like to visit in China, and then so can you pick me up at the airport, and then I want to see your the fabric factory.
Yeah, sure.
And then I start from there. So I first trip, I couldn't go by myself because I was so busy. So I sent my production manager.
Who was that?
Tony John.
Tony. So she went to China before you went to China?
Yeah, by yourself.
Well, what city? What city was it?
Shanghai.
Shanghai. Okay.
Shanghai.
So
because at that time Shanghai, there is only one airport.
Right.
Very small. All airport, it was terrible.
Right.
Hongqiao Airport. Hongqiao Airport is a very small airport. It's pretty scary.
Yeah.
Airport.
Right.
That's what she told me.
Yeah.
Okay. So. I sent her, and I let her visit the fabric mill, and they pick up the more quality. And then so she brought a lot of quality, and then
So the first time, your first exposure with China was with the fabric mill
the
then?
fabric mill.
When did you open the garment?
The garment is like and year 2000.
So 1 year after.
1 year after. Very limited production because of a quota situation. So that time, only 2 items there is no quota, which is a linen fabric and silk fabric. Silk and linen item there is no quota, so I can start to import the linen.
Was the duty the same? Like
Duty is same. Duty is everybody has the.
maybe they do that because U.S. doesn't make linen or silk. Huh?
I know.
That's what I'm
So
guessing,
silk and the linen.
Yeah.
I can bring it as much as I want, but still, the duty, so you have to pay duty. So I started with the silk and linen, very limited, quantity, and then I buy the fabric and ship the fabric to Korea and to the manufacture there.
Right.
So I start to import the fabric first, and then I do very limited production there.
What was cheaper, China or Korea at that time?
China's cheaper.
Yeah.
Way cheaper.
Right. Yeah.
It's got me exciting, and then.
Yeah. At that time, back in what you said, 2000, right?
1999.
Yeah. 2000. Okay,
Yeah,
so
2000.
like 2000, because right now,
Yeah.
doing production in Korea is suicide.
No, there is no-
it's
there is no
ridiculous.
production.
It's ridiculous.
There is
Back
no
then, was Korea big or was it still kind of small?
It was big.
It was big, huh?
But it kept
Yeah.
shrinking.
Right.
But kept shrinking, but it was okay.
Was that the peak or was it already starting to shrink?
Already started to shrink down.
Okay, yeah.
Because I told you, I started business with Korea 1990.
Right.
So I had a very good mileage. First 10 years.
Right.
And then started slowing down.
Right. And
Okay,
so,
How come you wanted to start with Korea first, opposed to China?
China, because China is you cannot buy the product because there is no quota available.
Oh.
Okay, so
so that was like government. It was like politics,
yeah,
basically.
politics,
They wouldn't let you. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah. So basically, when did you? And so I'm guessing then you got out of Korea and then moved 100% to China, or how did that work out?
I had a Korean office, and then I still doing a lot of production in Korea, and then I prepare for the China. So I did it back and forth. But I bought a very limited product, and then I buy a lot of fabric, and then ship to Korea, and then do the production and ship bring it to the state.
Right.
So I did like that almost like 4 years and 5 years together.
So up until 2005.
2005, 2005,
Okay.
and then but I think it's like a 2004. I did a lot of production in China.
China.
Not with the Chinese vendor, because a lot of Korean manufacturer
They're
company
moving into China.
They set up the factory in China.
Where was it? Like still Shanghai?
Qingdao.
Qingdao. Okay.
And then,
I started
with us.
I started in Qingdao.
Qingdao, with us, and a lot of company,
all of
they
them.
do that. So
Yeah.
I think they start to set the factory, almost like a 2000, 2003. So everybody start to, jumping into the China.
So when you were in 2000, when you were doing the limited production, the
Yeah.
garment production out of China, was
Yeah.
that with the Korean factory as well?
No,
That was with the Chinese factory.
Chinese factory, linen and silk, Chinese factory, and then we buy the Chinese fabric from China vendor.
Right.
So the company Kotai.
Yeah.
So I find the Kotai. So
okay,
They
yeah.
are the one who set it up, and also Sinotex.
Okay.
Those two guys. I find that, and then I see the potential.
Right.
So how I do business. So I see the potential. So I opened up my China office. After 2 years, year 2001, 9/11. You remember the day?
9/11.
9/11.
Yeah. And you were in China.
I was in China. Yeah.
And so you were setting up the office there.
Office,
Right.
that, and then I remember. So
okay.
after I set up the China office, and then I did a lot of fabric sourcing,
Sure.
and they shipped to Korea.
Right.
And the plus I did a limited production, and the production is keep growing because they opened that little by little.
Sure.
So we start to increase a lot.
Right.
Yeah.
So, like, this quota thing,
Yeah.
you said like in 2005 you moved almost 100%.
No.
Or how much did you move in 2005? Because you said
No. 2000 by 2006 I moved 100%.
Right.
Yeah.
So when did the quota start to lift? like lifting?
Still, they do have a quota, but the more important thing is the factory. Like a lot of Korean big trading company,
Right.
they set up the factory in the Qingdao.
Right.
Okay, so they started doing the production because of they do so much production, domestic, and plus they're exporting. So they got more allocation quota from the government.
Okay.
So because they are the one who has the biggest quota.
But then from there, from Qingdao, then even if like China was it China that was allowing, or did the U.S. allow?
No, China government.
China government.
Yeah, let's say for example, like China government. Okay, I got allocation 10,000 shares.
Yeah.
Okay, so they allocate to the older company who does really big business with the United States.
Yeah.
So who has like a biggest the quota holder was Rutai.
Right.
Rutai is the number one. They are a Chinese company.
Right.
But Rutai, and the second biggest ones is with us.
Yeah.
They are Korean owned Chinese company.
They were second to Rutai.
Yeah, Rutai.
Wow.
So what I did is because they have a big factory and the good quality. So Rutai is number one. Number two was like with us. So I happen to know the owner
with us.
With us, and then I started do the production, and then they I get pretty much all the quota. What they got is come to me because of our relationship. So we start to do a lot of business, and as the meantime, I did a production in Korea, but Korea price is cheaper. I mean, getting higher and higher. They lost a lot of worker because Korea, they can't afford to do the garment business.
Sure.
So they started closing down, and then we move pretty much everything to
Yeah.
China. Some major production is in Qingdao.
And with us.
With us, and then. The other sell different product in Shanghai, and then, everything.
And during this time, this is all package shirts, right? Mostly
all the package shirts done in with us in Qingdao, and the casual shirts, and we did in Shanghai, Shaoxing, and different locations.
I see.
Because depends upon the items.
Yeah, but it was all woven, pretty much.
All woven, not the knit.
Not knits, right?
Not knit.
Yeah, because I remember. So I started working here in 2012.
Yeah.
But by that time, we were doing suits already.
Yes.
We were doing suits.
Yeah.
So when did you start doing? You started suits when you bought Backrack, right? That's what I'm guessing. Or did you do a little suits before?
I did, the suit before that too.
Okay, you did a little bit.
Yeah.
When did you start buying suits then?
I believe that year 2000. I think it's 2008.
2008.
Yeah.
And so when you were buying those suits, did you just start 100% in China?
100% in China.
And so where in China were you buying the suits?
The suit. There's always there is like a suit factory is a base. Most of suit factory, good quality of suit factory was in Ningbo. And then the other one is like Shandong area, the north.
Yeah.
Okay, north is too far.
Yeah.
I don't want to go, but already we have an office in Shanghai.
Yeah.
Only from the Shanghai to the Ningbo is like very close.
Well, I remember you telling me because by the time I went there in 2012, there was that bridge.
Yeah, the bridge is already established.
Yeah, but you told me when you first started there was no bridge.
There is no bridge.
When did that bridge get built?
I don't remember.
Okay, so people who don't know, there's this like
triangle,
little bay.
Yeah,
there's this little bay here, and Shanghai's up here, and the Chinese it's ridiculous. They built like a 26, 28 mile long bridge.
20 miles long bridge. Yeah,
it's a long bridge that crosses because Ningbo is right here.
So it's like a Shanghai's here that goes like this, and then this is a bay, right there, right?
Yeah.
So before building bridges,
you would have to
we have to go from here to the Hangzhou, Shaoxing, and the Ningbo.
Right.
You have to get almost like a U-turn.
Right.
It takes about almost 6 hours to get there. Since they put the bridge, it takes me only like 2.5 hours.
Yeah.
It was so good, unbelievable.
Yeah. So anyways, back to the subject though. So around 2008. So before then, you were doing a lot of woven shirts, and then you started doing suits.
Yeah, suit.
Right.
Yeah.
And I mean, I guess we never really did knits in China then, huh?
No.
Yeah. So like knits, you just basically started straight in Bangladesh.
Yeah, Bangladesh and Korea.
Yeah.
I started with because all the better knit like model depends upon the fabric.
Right.
If Korea is known as like a better knit,
Technical fabric.
Technical fabric,
Right.
and I did it in Korea. But like a major production is done in Bangladesh.
Right. When did you start Bangladesh?
I believe that Bangladesh. I started with the year 2000. I think it's year 2000.
I always thought.
Yeah.
Maybe I was wrong, but I always thought you started in China and then you thought China was getting too expensive, so you opened Bangladesh. But that wasn't the case.
My first business, I told you, my first business, I started with the business with the Bangladesh in 1992.
92.
Because
So you were in Bangladesh before China then?
No, I never been in Bangladesh.
Oh, okay.
But what I did is when I do the business in Korea, right? Because everybody understanding, Korea is not a future of garment industry. So a lot of big trading company, they start to open up the factory in Bangladesh. They start to open the factory in Honduras.
Right.
And then they start opening the factory in China.
Right.
And they start opening factory in Vietnam.
Yeah, right.
Okay, so because I started business in Korea, but major production is coming from made in Vietnam,
right.
made in China, made in Bangladesh. So I started with a business. I'm talking about Bangladesh in 1990.
Okay.
Through the LG Fashion, LG. But LG Fashion, somehow they run the 10-year good mileage out of Bangladesh production, and then the company decided to shut down the garment division, LG.
I know.
Company.
Everybody knows LG.
So what they do is like those team, who were
part of LG,
part of LG, and then when they close, shut down the that division, they come out, they started their own business called Bando Global.
Right.
So Bando, they took over the company also like year 2000. Exactly 2020.
Okay.
Because we already done the business with LG, slowly but surely, not a lot. And then after they shut down the division, and then they come to me, okay, right now I'm the new owner.
Right.
I would like to continue the service.
Yeah.
So
So okay, because I know Bando does wovens.
Yeah.
Because I started working,
Yeah.
it was with Bando.
Yeah.
So I know Bando does wovens. Why would you do is it because you just did so much woven volume that you wanted to diversify Bangladesh and China? Why wouldn't you just go 100% Bangladesh? They buy all their fabric from China anyway.
Yeah. Because that time, there is two reasons. Lead time is so long.
Yeah, right.
Okay. And also quality wasn't there.
Right.
Right.
Yeah.
So you have to go. There is a quality and price, and the delivery is so long.
Right.
Versus China, that time China fabric was, price was good. They're cheap.
Right. Yeah.
It's not like right now.
Yeah. Right.
Because after 20 years, it becomes so expensive,
Right.
and everybody's getting out of it right now. Is China, and they move to Vietnam,
Right.
move to Bangladesh.
Right. Yeah, because I want to talk about when. Because when I first started working, I took over a lot of the package strip production. I started in 2012.
Yeah.
But I remember, I don't know if you remember this, but when I first started in 2012, I want to say, I think around, most of what I took over is I did a lot of sport strip production out of Bangladesh with Bando.
Yeah.
But I would have a special program with us, or not with us, Uri. Because with us, by then Uri was with us was gone.
Yeah.
But I remember you would always, whenever we bought European fabric or anything really nice, you would always send it to China.
Yeah.
And the reason why you sent,
quality,
because the quality was better.
Yeah.
Yeah, I remember that. And so by the time I started, China was already too expensive.
Yeah, already too expensive.
It was already getting
because
too expensive.
I get a good mileage 10 years.
Yeah.
First 10 years I was doing good.
Yeah.
So I think it's I started major production in China year 2003. 2003 and 2004. 2003, I would say 2003 up to 2010. Those 7 years I was doing huge production, and I took a very good advantage.
Right. Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think it's 2002. I think I just started,
and
2002.
Then we got out of China. When did we close? When did you close the China office?
China office. I think that year 2000.
I don't remember.
I think it's a I would say like a
14, 15, 16, something like that.
I think it's 2014.
Something like that. It was one of those 3 years.
2014. Yeah.
Okay, so I remember we shut down the 2014 office. I mean, because right now,
the reason I shut down is that we cannot do too much.
We got priced
production
out.
anymore.
Yeah, we got priced out basically.
Yeah.
You know, like I mean, our suit department just is gone.
Yeah.
We're not doing any more sweaters.
Yeah.
You know, we don't do any more sweaters. We're out of the tie business. We're out of the like socks business. I remember I was doing socks for a little bit.
Yeah.
We're out of all of that completely, and we decided to focus on wovens and knits and dress pants.
Yes.
We were doing dress pants back then, but then. Did you ever do dress pants in China? No.
Yeah, we did it.
We did?
Yeah, we did it.
But then, I mean, like, when I started, we were already in Bangladesh 100%, I think, right?
The Bangladesh and then, Bangladesh and we did it China.
A little bit of China, too?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, so then what I want to discuss now then is, based on all this, is do you ever see, like, the garment industry going back to China?
I don't think so.
You want to know something crazy is, you know, even Levi's right
Yeah.
now. Like Dave Winterstrom, I don't know if Dave Winterstrom told you this right now. He was basically saying, like 5 years ago, 97% of all their volume was based out of China.
Yeah.
And right now,
Yeah.
it's only like 3% is in China.
Yeah.
Everywhere else, it's like mostly Bangladesh. It's
Yeah.
mostly all these other
Yeah.
places and everything. Do you ever see the garment industry coming back to China?
I don't think so.
Because what I'm wondering too is like a couple things I feel like advantage that China has is, first off, their quality is the best. I think China has the best quality in the world.
Yes.
I think their quality is better than USA quality
Yes,
right now.
of course.
It's like,
definitely.
and right now, everyone's still buying fabric from China.
Yes.
Like whether you do Bangladesh production, I mean, even India sometimes buys from China, like all the polyester stuff, don't they?
Yeah.
You know, and then like, you know, all the small like Southeast Asian countries, they all buy their fabric from China. I want to say more than half of their fabric is imported, right? So like China still does really good quality sewing.
Fabric,
They still control the fabric. And one thing else I like about it, they have low minimums.
And then price is expensive.
Yeah, I know it's
So
expensive,
like, you
but
know,
like,
if you wanted to deal with like a very designer, small quantity, and then still like, you know,
'cause
China is good.
Well, because for me, I think if you want to do 150 pieces per color,
No problem in China.
is there no problem in China?
No problem in
Because
China.
I still think USA is better for 150 pieces, no?
Because you know the freight cost is more money. Yeah.
So I always think if you're like somewhere between like 150 to 300 pieces, I like USA.
Yeah, but again,
I think like 600 to 1200 is
what
good
I'm
for-
saying is, you know, USA, but if you go for the quality, you cannot manufacture. Because only made in USA is a very limited
Right.
items.
It's like t-shirt and denim.
Yeah, that's it. I
it,
mean, you know, they cannot do any like very like a delicate, you know, like a detail,
Right.
you know, the woman's, you know,
Yeah, all that stuff.
these things.
You
is
have to go
very-
to China.
Still, I think it's still like a woman's wear, very fast item. It's got to be there in China because of a lead time.
Yeah.
Because you cannot do, all those like a fashion, dresses, women's wear made in, maybe you can do, made in Vietnam.
Vietnam, yeah.
And then Vietnam
Is
and then China.
the lead time in Vietnam faster than Bangladesh?
Yeah.
It is.
Yeah,
Is Vietnam and China about the same? You think?
No, the Vietnam is a little bit longer.
A little longer.
Because you have to ship the fabric to, Vietnam.
Oh no! Oh, okay.
Yeah,
Yeah,
you see that.
I see what
Only
you're
like
saying,
shipping.
Right.
So I think it's like a made in Vietnam is you have to give it like at least 1 month edition.
So it's same as Bangladesh.
Bangladesh 2 months. You have to ship the fabric to
Right.
That's a 1 month.
Oh, I see. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, I see what you're saying. I see what you're saying. Okay. Yeah. Because
and
like
the freight coming from there is like a 35 days.
Right.
But China only 2 weeks.
I see. Yeah, but I mean, like China though, everything is getting more expensive.
Yeah,
right?
expensive.
Well, I mean, because I want to ask you this too then, because like with China, I mean, whenever we did business in China, I mean, we still do a little bit out of Guangzhou. You know, we do a little bit of denim out of Guangzhou, but then like, I mean, have you ever been to Beijing?
Yes.
How's Beijing? Like
Beijing, there is no garment in
there's no
factory.
garment, no more, not anymore. Like because what I'm wondering is like China has like however many billions of people. You know, it's still like the large like population, and nobody knows and everything like that. You could still probably find some like inexpensive factories there, right?
But
like,
but still tough.
Yeah.
Very tough because
Yeah. Because like it's like because I'm like thinking about it right now too. Like it's do you ever,
there is a lot of good factory there, but still, expensive than Vietnam,
Right.
still expensive than
I
the
see.
Bangladesh.
Yeah.
That's right now. So we are fighting for the like a 20 cents and 30 cents. If
Right.
it's like 30 cents cheaper
Right.
than China, and then when you bring it like 1 million pieces,
Right.
that's already $300,000.
Right.
You
No,
know?
yeah.
So,
Yeah.
yeah.
I see. Do you ever think that there will be another country that beats China in fabric? Why is
The
China?
fabric?
Yeah. Why is China's fabric so good? Is it just because they've been doing it for so long?
That they invest a lot of money for the machinery.
So they still have all the machinery there.
Because all the machinery is coming from Japan
Right.
and Italy. They invest like
Yeah, but the Italians and the Japanese, they're making that machinery in China too anyway.
so
Yeah.
they invest so much money for the
Right.
machinery.
Right.
And then the country is so big.
Right.
They have a polyester. They produce a polyester. They make
Right.
it.
Yeah.
Cotton and everything. They got everything. They are like
Right.
a world factory.
Right.
But I think it's they are good to develop the fabric and everything. But
Yeah.
just labor becomes so expensive.
Right. Yeah, because I mean, I'm trying to start sourcing denim out of Madagascar.
Yeah.
We're starting to actually go into Africa.
Yeah, but
like,
it's still
yeah.
fabric is coming from China.
not only that, our factory is Chinese owned.
Yes, that's
You
what
know?
I'm saying.
Yeah.
All the
Yeah.
the Chinese people who own the factory in China, just like what Korean people did
Yeah.
it, they cannot do the production in China anymore. So they go Bangladesh, they go Cambodia, they go Africa, Ethiopia, and all the
Yeah.
countries set up the factory. That's what they
Yeah.
do. Just they
Yeah.
learn from Korean, the big company before.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So then, if China, like the garment manufacturing in China, if it's dead, what's next? What do you think is the best country right now for apparel?
Better. I don't know. I mean, what I'm saying is you need to find out.
Yeah.
That's your
Yeah,
generation.
right. Yeah.
My
Yeah. And
I think there's still, I think still like, depends upon the item. I think it's all the fashion item can be done in India, and all the basic item can be done in, Bangladesh is still good, but, if you have a really, really basic, if you have a longer lead time, I wouldn't mind, the Africa.
Yeah.
So everything is still like,
Yeah.
everything is up in the air. So
Yeah.
after the pandemic, we will know.
Yeah, because I will tell you right now, Africa's expensive.
Yeah,
Right.
but the only reason, you can do business in Africa because of no duty.
Right.
So you talk about the cotton is a 21% duty, you're
Yeah.
saving.
Right.
But is it worth it?
Yeah.
But their prices are very expensive. The
Yeah.
reason is that their same is cheap, but the reason is like all the people who set up the factory in Africa,
They need to
they
make their
invest a lot
They
of
need to
money.
make the money back. Yeah.
So they gotta make the money back.
Yeah. Right.
Eventually, prices will come down,
Yeah.
but always the beginning,
Right.
they gotta get back all the money.
Right.
And then only saving is the CMT because
Right.
all the material is coming from China,
Right.
but your transportation cost is more money. Only it's actually it's not much a lot different because the fabric is from China. You have to ship it to Africa. That means the shipping cost is addition.
Right.
And then when you ship it back from the Africa to United States, there is more shipping cost. What you saving is only CMT.
I hear
Yeah.
the shipping lead time is
Yeah.
75 days.
Yeah.
It's ridiculous.
Yeah.
And so it's like.
And it's not worth it.
it's
But
crazy.
if you have a really, really basic, and then, so you want to just place an order and you want to forget about it. If you get delivery, okay. If it's
Yeah.
not, doesn't matter.
Right.
You can do that.
That's the way to go.
Yeah.
So, okay, this is the final question before
Yeah.
we wrap up today.
Yeah.
So, right now, you kind of explained,
Yeah.
like, in 20 minutes, you explained kind of like the whole 20-year transition from China, basically. Like,
Yeah.
once China allowed the trade,
Yeah.
basically, we know where China stands right now, right? So, my thing is right now, when it comes to just population and just general resources, India is probably number 2 after China.
Yeah.
India makes amazing cotton. For those of you who don't know, India does. They have the second largest world population. India is kind of becoming a manufacturing power right now too. Do you ever see India getting priced out? India getting too expensive? Because the interesting thing right now is, I think right now India, in terms of price point, is almost neck and neck with Bangladesh right now. And I think right now Bangladesh is, we have the position of
I think it's India is a very stable.
Yeah.
Okay, and then they have a lot of population and very, very stable.
You're right.
Very stable. So I think that Bangladesh, always like up and down, up and down, up and
Right.
down, up and down, because every 4 years they have a new election and the
Yeah.
CMT goes up,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
and that means the price goes up, and everything is unstable.
Right.
Okay, even though you have a good factory, you're okay, but you always get nervous.
Right. Right.
They're gonna do a good job or not.
Right, right.
But India is very stable, so it's a matter of find right factory, and then work with the people, and then you have to own the factory.
Right.
If you cannot go every single piece is a price point or not, but
Yeah.
you go to the factory, you make a package deal,
Right.
and then you can stably,
Yeah.
you can
Right.
make a plan.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, because like what I'm worried about too is like once India, I mean,
Yeah.
I don't think India's there yet, but eventually India too. I mean, they're going to go through like an industrial revolution just like China.
Yeah.
I mean, I think the middle class is going to grow in India.
Yeah.
They can't have this
Yeah.
caste system forever, like with India, where it's like they have those slums and everything like that.
Yeah.
It can't stay like that forever, right?
But they have so much population.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, it's something that I'm always thinking because now that like we're doing so much manufacturing,
Yeah.
like I always get so nervous,
I think it's we'll find a new factory. So
Yeah.
always I think it's good to have a diversify.
Yeah.
Diversify in case something happen.
Right.
And then you be ready. So my suggestion is that whenever we are doing good,
You always gotta.
we always look for the like a backup country.
Right.
So like I see that there is a potential start to have a problem with Bangladesh, our woven production and the knit production.
Yeah.
Every year they have a strike, and then we have a non-delivery problem,
Yeah.
and there is a lot of problems. So I didn't feel comfortable. So I say I got to do something, and then
Yeah.
I say, why don't I do business with India?
Right.
I done business with India before in a smaller way, understanding, but we started having a big business the last 6 years.
Yeah. Right.
Yeah, 6 years. So
Yeah.
we're glad that we going to the India.
Yeah. I mean,
Even before, like if I didn't go to like China 1999, I would have a big problem.
Right. Right.
So always
Yeah.
you got to be ready.
I mean,
Yeah,
I think India like a 5-year run, no problem. I
Yeah,
think.
I think
It's
so,
like
yeah.
for the next 5 years, I think we're going to be rock solid
Yeah.
with like knits and wovens. So I mean, there's a
And
lot to like
after
about
that,
it.
like if you have no place to go, it's okay. You know why? That means everybody's struggling, not only me, and then
Right.
it's okay then.
Yeah, I mean,
you got to win the competition. That's it.
Yeah. You just gotta be better than the person next to you. Yeah, you don't have to be the best. Yeah.
Yeah.
I got you. Okay,
All right.
well, thank you so much for your time.
Okay.
I'll probably see you again in maybe like 2 or 3 weeks.
Okay, no problem.
Okay, thank you.
Okay,
See ya.
thanks.